Alright, how's it going? Thought I'd do another video talking about games I want in 2016, things that I think are going to be released, things that I think maybe going to be released, things that I want released. Because, hobby, why not? So, first game, number 1, No Man's Sky. We've been told over and over again that No Man's Sky is going to be beautiful, it's going to be huge, it's going to be the biggest thing you've ever seen in your life. But it's not going to have a story. You're going to have to make your own story. And that, for me, and I feel like a fair few gamers, is a turn-off. You have to want to absorb the narrative that the creator wants to tell you. And if you have to make your own narrative, then what's the point? But the reason I'm looking forward to this right now is that it's going to be an experience. It's coming out alongside the same release title, a window, as PlayStation VR. And with PlayStation VR, we're going to get an experience. That's what VR is going to be. We're not going to get narratives, we're going to get worlds. And with this world, No Man's Sky, it's going to be somewhere you can go endlessly. You're going to sit on your sofa, I guess. You can stroll around your room a little. I don't know how it's going to work. But it's going to be somewhere beautiful that you can go. And we don't need a story for that. That's how life works, you know? That's what virtual reality is going to be. It's going to be places. So yeah, number 1 on my list. Number 2 on my list, Kingdom Hearts 3. So we've had loads of portable titles in between now and number 2, but we really need this game. That needs to come out soon. They've just released the HD remakes. They've been having all of this hype, trailers, little mini animation releases, all of these things that the hype's building. The hype for these games is not building more than Final Fantasy VII Remake or Final Fantasy 15. It's very much for the fans, Kingdom Hearts 3. The lucky thing for Square Enix is they can release it, they know this, they can release it whenever they like. They can release it alongside any of their other titles because it's not reliant anymore on a Final Fantasy game as a restriction. Final Fantasy 15, I think, is coming out this year. That does not hold back Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 has Final Fantasy characters, but it's a Disney game. Disney, I don't know if you heard, are huge right now. They're killing it. They've got Star Wars, they've got Pixar, they've got Marvel. Man, there's going to be so many worlds in that game. And yeah, I think this year, why not? The hype is there right now. E3 coming up this time. I think this year we're going to get Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3, most importantly. That's the one I'm looking forward to. Okay, number 3. Man, I did the numbering on this weird. Number 2 was Kingdom Hearts 3. Number 3 is Uncharted 4. Right, Uncharted 4. I'm going to get this one out of the way quickly. I cannot wait. They have made amazing games over at Naughty Dog recently, and I feel like they've only learnt from those games. We've had all the Uncharteds, we've had The Last of Us, and now for all of that to be wrapped up and for them to start moving on to new IP, we have Uncharted 4. I just can't wait to see how it ends, you know? I want to see what those last lines are, what the last action sequence is going to be, the last boss, who lives, who dies, is it a good ending, is it a bad ending, happy, sad, like, can't get enough of this one. Number 4, very soon, so we already know this one's coming out, and I want it, I really want this game. I haven't been excited about a Far Cry game for a while. Since number 3, I enjoyed that, I thought it was a really good release. And then they released Blood Dragon to tack on the end of that. That was hilarious, that was great fun. Then they released Far Cry 4. Kinda just didn't care. But now we've got Primal. I feel like they're taking the mechanics that no one cared about. no one wants to use the bow when you have all of the other overpowered weapons. It's fun, it's a good gimmick in the games, but when there's so many other things that can help you annihilate outposts and destroy enemies, like animals and all of these other things, the primitive side of things, the hunter-gatherer sort of gameplay that they've always gone for with Far Cry, gets overlooked. So for them to focus a game around those mechanics, I think is a fantastic idea. I don't know if it's that broad speaking. Well, people like guns. Teenagers love guns. I think the idea of a spear and a bow and a stone tall as a grenade, that's a rock that you can chuck at someone's face, that's a great idea. But we'll see how this one goes down. But I'm really looking forward to it. I think they're going to do fine. I think it's going to be a fun release, at least. Maybe not the best grossing release, but we'll see. Number 5. While I'm very reluctant to pick up anything Ubisoft makes recently with their annualizing of Assassin's Creed since number 2, it's been exhausting. They've made some mediocre games. Right now I'm playing Rainbow Six Siege. And it's fun, I guess, but it's online, it's restricting, and it's expensive for an online-only game. But The Division, that's a promise. That's something that they're looking to make, well, I guess they're trying to tackle the Destiny group of people. They want them to come over and witness something brutal, something The Last of Us, something Destiny, something RPG, something first-person shooter. They're giving a lot of people something creative. There's going to be a story, there's going to be underlying narratives in and out of the game. In and out of the game, I mean, dotted throughout in different ways. Probably things you can read, directly told to you, cutscenes. It's going to be broad in how it tells story. But again, I'm intrigued. That's all there is to that, really. There's been a lot of people getting into the beta, and apparently it's been more positive than it was negative originally, so we'll find out. Number 6. Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I didn't play the original Mirror's Edge until maybe a few years later. Picked it up for about £2. I guess for it to be about £2 back in the UK that long after release, it's probably about 3 years after it was actually originally released. Loved it. Story was weak. It was a mechanics-based sort of release. It was a gimmicky game. Parkour was popular at the time, so why not make a parkour game? It was awesome. The gameplay was awesome. The world looked beautiful. And, well, for them to re-release another one, why not? Why not make another one? That's a great idea. It's very much for the fans. I don't think it's going to be huge. I don't want it to be huge. I don't care. I want them to have cutscenes rather than the animated ones they had in the original when EA used to do the budget sort of storytelling. But if they go in a bit more hardcore with the story, we've got those mechanics back. We have maybe the same amount of gunplay, maybe a little more, maybe a bit more intuitive to people who love an FPS. That's going to be an awesome game. I've got a hunch that VR is going to be more than just a platform for new games. I feel like old games will be playable. I feel like it's just a patch, surely it could be done. Maybe a big DLC, like a VR DLC. I'm expecting something for maybe Grand Theft Auto. They implemented the first person mode, so why not make a DLC that makes it work with VR? I'm sure it's not like landing on the moon, you know, like a couple of lines of code, a bit more tweaking of the mechanics of GTA, and that's on VR. So why not that same thing with Mirror's Edge Catalyst? Make it a VR title or not a VR title. Make it both, you know? Like, I feel like this is what VR is going to be, is an optional experience. A thing that you can do when you fancy it. If someone's hogging the TV, chucking your VR goggles, it's another screen. If someone's off the TV, then they can watch you play it while you're on VR. If you don't want to use your VR and you get headaches, fucking play it on your TV. I don't think it matters. But I have a hunch that VR is going to be a lot more broad than just VR only games. But we'll see. Star Fox Zero, number 7 on my list. I'm looking forward to that. Very much for the fans again. Nintendo coming out with its repeating property releases. Just, oh, what we got in the old bin? I found it. Star Fox 64. Let's polish this one up. So it's going to be a shiny turd. Will it sell well? Probably to Nintendo fans. Will it bring Nintendo into how we actually want games to be released? Probably not. Will it be on the NX? Oh Jesus Christ, the NX. Let's get into that in another video. But let's focus on Star Fox Zero. Yeah, looks fun, looks great, looks interesting. Looks like it could work well with the Wii U pad, maxi pad thing. It's one for the heart, you know. If you love the old Star Fox games, the one on Super Nintendo, N64, if you like Star Fox Adventures, I guess this is what you want. Them to reboot the franchise, maybe take it seriously this time. Maybe get into annualization of the story. Like, I feel like Nintendo, of all of the companies that could annualize their titles, like they do with Mario, I suppose, could do that with their games. I'd buy Zelda every year. I'd buy Star Fox every year. I'd buy... That's what I play with Nintendo. Alright, number 8. Deus Ex Mankind Divided. That was meant to be out a while ago. Another FPS. VR? Could they implement VR? I don't know. It's pretty, maybe. But an open world. A lot of open worlds have come and gone recently since Human Revolution. Human Revolution was fun. The world was reasonably big. It was area based. A lot of games, Metal Gear used to be the same sort of Deus Ex area based game. Deus Ex surely have learnt from Ground Zeroes that you can make it huge, make big areas. GTA, big area, pretty much just a shooter, plenty of other things, Dying Light. As a game that has a lot of potential, I feel like it could be huge, it could be awesome, it could be a great world with great mechanics, a great FPS, but it has been delayed. I feel like I want to play that one now, you know? Any more waiting and games are just going to outdo it and it'll be released as a mediocre title and that would suck. And my last one, yeah, this is a list of 9. 9 games, not 10, not 5, 9, alright? Ukulele, okay? Platformer. Haven't seen a platformer for so long. You know, a platform that matters, a platform with a story, a platform with lovable characters, things that you want your kids to play, like those sort of games, the things that you want the younger generations to like pick up and be like, I love this. I think Ukulele is going to be that game. That's going to be one that's going to stick with us. The mechanics look amazing. It's it's a Banjo-Kazooie of this age by the people who made Banjo-Kazooie. Perfect. Okay, that's the perfect tagline. That's all I need for that game to be sold to me. Will it sell well? I feel like, yes, it's going to be broad. It's going to be a game that people want to play. People like my age, 20s, people in their 30s, 40s who have grew up with platformers, they're going to want to go back and grab something like this. They're going to be the people that played Nintendo 64 when they understood what a good game was, you know? People who pick up Ukulele are going to be those fans of good games from the past. The younger generation, I feel like, wow, we haven't had a decent one for maybe, I can't even put a name on it, I'm going to chuck 6 years, 7 years in there. A game that mattered, you know, a decent platformer. I can't even remember the last one. But I feel like it was a couple of generations ago, the one that actually mattered. So for this to be the case, it's going to be hard to break the younger generation, teenagers who are gaming now, people who have come into the world on FPSs, you know. But I feel like Ukulele, with enough good publicity, enough of a push at E3, they can get that game out this year, and with a lot of fan ferocity, they are going to run to that game. Alright, wrapping up, number 10, like I said, 9 game list. I'm probably going to go into some of these titles a bit more in the future. I really want to pick up on talking about the NX, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, etc., all that stuff down there in my pants. Peace!